In order to survive a downturn, you have to be stubborn and you have to basically not accept failure. And I don't think necessarily, just to be clear, I think there are many people who, left a sales or recruiting career that worked for me where it was the right decision for them because it is something that is difficult to do and to keep doing. It's a job that has a lot of ups and downs, right? Because you're talking about, the best tech recruiters, for example, are high skilled recruiters, that are collecting a 20 or 25% fee for every placement they do. They may only do 2, 3, if they're really good, consistently placements per month. And so in any given month or quarter, you can go from feeling like a hero because you did 7 placements at 30K a pop and you're about to cash a huge check. And you're like, I'm the best at this job. And then the next quarter, you maybe take your foot off the gas because, you're like, hey, I'm really good. And like, this is easier than I thought. And, it's going to just keep rolling in. And then all of a sudden you have a miss. And then you're 90 days in, you realize you're not going to do any deals and you're pulling your hair out and you're like really starting to doubt yourself. And the problem that I think, to answer your question, like what separates people in sales and recruiting and other what I would call very performance numbers driven roles from succeeding is that even when they're not seeing the results, they never stop putting in the effort. So
Uh,
every day is like if you go and you're shooting hoops, you might be on a hot streak where you make every 3-pointer. And then the next day, you may miss 50%, but you're still taking 100 shots every single day. No matter what, you're taking 100 shots. Whether you make them or whether you miss them, you took the shots. And that is key to longevity and perseverance in any career, but particularly in a sales and recruiting career. So that is what separates people who make it through a downturn versus not, is that they don't stop putting in the effort, even if the results aren't immediate.
100%. And it seems like there are bad habits as well that almost every recruiter develops when the market is really hot, and most of them probably don't even realize it. What would you say those bad habits are, and how would you unlearn them and go about that?
So when everything is going well in a market or in a business where it seems like things are really easy, as someone who's been doing this for 20 years, my spidey sense goes up and I actually get more stressed out when things are going well than I do when things are like kind of status quo or just kind of we're bumping along. And the reason is because I know that it's not going to necessarily last forever and that we have to work 3 times as hard when things are going well than we do when things are sort of just bumping along. And the reason is because momentum begets momentum. So you have to be aware that when things are feel very easy, you're like, wow, I just did that. Like that was easier than I thought, and it keeps happening. But you're probably in a good market, and you should definitely like really think about that and understand that what's going on with that market. How do you get even more into it? How do you, if you have product market fit with a service or a product, how do you really iterate on that and keep closing that loop, tightening that loop? And also at the same time, like this fear should be like, well, this might be an abnormality because often that kind of really easy growth is a fluke. Like that's
Uh,
not the nature of things, right? Nature is constantly moving towards entropy and chaos. It's
mm,
always trying to break apart everything. And so when you've put together something and it's going well, that's when you need to triple down and actually work harder because that will ultimately get you not only through that, you reap the rewards of that cycle, but it'll also strengthen you as you get into the inevitable downturn. And that downturn might only last a month, or it might last a quarter, it might last a year, or whatever it is. But you will have built the muscle when things are good, so that when things are not as good, you don't, you're not, you feel like you're working the same, right? Like you've been doing the same job. You're still going to work hard. You're still going to put in the effort. You're still going to follow the model. You're still going to do what you know works. The results might not be as fruitful right now for whatever reason, but I'm not going to stop doing this or I'm not going to panic, right? So that's sort of, I think what separates people is coming back to the same theme, which is the best always put in the effort, regardless of the results.